Sorry guys, going back to, let me sort this camera out, that's better. Going back to highdown, where I was from 93, so I was in Belmarsh 91, 92, highdown 93. I was full on the heroin in there, I was getting visits, having heroin brought up. I did do coke in there, as well, but not every day like I was trying to do the brown every day. I'd had a habit outside and I was trying to continue that when I came back into the prison, after I'd been out or whatever for a bit, on the street using heroin and crack all the time, and I continued with that in the prison. So this time, I was always on the lookout for new people that had come in on the wing from the street, thinking, if they had come direct from court and they hadn't been remanded, they'd be bringing something with them and all that sort of stuff, running around like a headless chicken all the time, looking for a bit of gear, running around like a loony. And these two guys came in, and I remember this well because they got done for about 10 armed robberies. And, it was a big case. Roy and Paul, I won't say their second names, but they were from Deptford area, around Deptford in southeast London. And when they came in, I think they were remanded in custody, but they'd been on a bit of work on a blag and they had loads of £50 notes still left over from the robbery. And they was bringing this into the prison. They brought some in when they was nicked. They managed to smuggle in a load of £50 notes, and also they was getting them on visits as well, from their partners and stuff. So this one time, Paul, like I say, just come onto the spur and he didn't have a radio. And he said to me, do you know where I can get a radio? I'll sort you out. And there's me, I'm in a bit of withdrawal, want a bit of brown. And I said, yeah, I'll sort you one out. Actually, I've got two. Because I had like this Robert style one, a bigger one, and a smaller one, like a little Sony pocket radio. So I said, here, have this one, Paul, till you get yourself sorted out. And he goes to me, what do you want for it? I said, I don't want nothing, Paul, just sort me out when you can. So what he did later that day, he was out on a visit and he come back, and he sorted it out. But the funny thing with him was he ended up in stripes. Because, like I say, highdown in 93, it was brand new and a lot of the screws working there didn't have a clue. They was all new to the job. And I remember this time in the visits, because I was down on a visit myself, I remember he actually tried to walk out of the visit, with his visitors. But they got onto it, and he ended up going down the block for that, and he was in stripes, and then he come back onto the wing, he become an E-man. So they was on him even more after that. And I remember, because he was known for gear and that, they was always spinning his cell, and taking him down the block after visits, for a strip search and all that, because like I say, they can't, one time I even made him pull his foreskin back, but they had to get a doctor in to do that. They can't ask you to do that unless there's an actual doctor there. And I've never known of them doing internals in there. They can't ask you to do stuff like that either. If they are asking you to do that, you want to know that that's not right. I have had a copper ask me to do that once in a police station, and I was only like 15, and obviously, that's not right. Red flags there all the way. But anyway, back to the story. So yeah, I've given him this radio, and he sorted me out on that. And then I think what we was doing, it was called returns. He'd get a visit, and he'd sort me out, and then I'd get a visit and return the favour. But this one time he was out on a visit, and he'd been taken down the block. He didn't come back onto the wing. They moved him from the seg because they were strip searching him and all that. But apparently they never found the gear. He did have it in his foreskin, and apparently when he was down the block, they've got a doctor there and said, pull that back and have a look, but he's grabbed a bit of gear and swallowed it again and all that palaver, and then he got put on closed visits for a while after that, which made it even worse for him. But yeah, he was moved to the next wing, right? But where I was on house block 2, I could get to his wing you know, this was the next day after his visit. I could get there if I got out on the exercise yard, and exercise weren't till like 2:30 in the afternoon. And I thought, yeah, he doesn't get that much gear on his visit. That'd be gone by then, you know, and he's already had his parcel for one night, you know. He didn't get loads and loads, and I wanted to get it sorted out. So basically, they was unlocking for work in the morning. I just went up to one of them screws and said, "Oh, Gov, you know so-and-so who cleans the yard, he's feeling sick today. Give me the broom, I'll go and do his shift for him." And they let me out into the exercise yard. Yeah, with, you know, to go and clean up the yard and that, just for this one shift. And then I went out there, I went up to his cell, which is on the next wing, you know, which is stuck to house block 2. And I went up to his cell, and he was like, "Oh, how'd you get out here?" And I said, "Yeah, I've come out here to pretend I'm doing the work. I just want to see you so I can get the gear you owe me and all that, you know." And what he done, he threw the Joey out the window quickly, the £10 bag of gear. And I just forgot about the work I had to do in the yard, and then just got that bag of gear, and then went back up to the gate in the yard, called the screw and said, "Yeah, all finished out here." And went back up to my cell, you know, and had a smoke of the gear, you know, and then I was sorted, yeah. Funny times, eh? But yeah, that's just another quick story. But his mate, sadly, he did hang himself, Roy, in the prison, you know. He was having a hard time. I think he got sentenced to 14 years or something, and he did take his own life, so bit of a sad ending there, you know. Yeah, that's it, guys. And I did do a little video earlier, another one here, so that's 2 today from me. Alright, I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot, guys.